The second round of the NBA playoffs ended just about a week ago, and I thought it would be a great time to make a video recapping all of the series that took place. This video would have came out earlier, but I graduated this week, so I could not make it before the conference finals began. This round was filled with great matchups, close games, and an all-around entertaining few weeks. Make sure to watch till the end to hear my conference finals predictions, and be sure to subscribe to the channel for more sports content just like this. Without further ado, let's begin. Before we begin, just to address the elephant in the room, I did not make an NBA playoff predictions video or recap the first round. My apologies. I was very busy around the time both rounds began, and by the time I was ready to make a video, I felt it would be too outdated. Now that that's out of the way, here was my bracket for this year, and as you can clearly see, we did not cook up here. I honestly cannot explain the Philly pick. I figured the Knicks would struggle without Randle and Embiid would go off this series. That was obviously not what played out. I did not intend for Donovan Mitchell to turn into prime Kobe Bryant these playoffs, and I mean, hey, the Magic almost pulled it off. For the Suns pick, man, that was embarrassing. They have so much talent for what? To get swept? Unbelievable. And for the Clippers pick, in my defense, in the video I was going to make, I would have said that whoever comes out of this series was going to the finals, and so far that is standing true. The team was unfortunately incorrect. With all that out of the way, let's get into the recap. For our first series in the second round, we had the Boston Celtics versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, where the Celtics came on top in 5 games. Everybody expected the Celtics to win, but considering the Cavs were missing like half of their lineup, they put up a good fight. Almost every game the Celtics won were close until the very end, and considering the Cavs were missing Mitchell and Allen, that is beyond impressive. With both of them playing, this series could have easily gone the other way. Obviously, Boston was the heavy favorites in this series, and it ended fairly quickly, but it was still extremely entertaining nonetheless. For our next matchup, we had the Pacers versus the Knicks, where the Pacers ended up taking this series in 7 games. I'm not trying to discredit Indiana or anything. They played a very good series and are well deserving of a victory. However, just like the Celtics, they faced a team with a ton of injuries. I get they are part of the game, but New York had Randle out as well as Hart, Brunson, and Anunoby were either not playing at 100% or not playing at all. Considering all of those things, they battled and almost pulled out a series victory, but a strong game from the Pacers in Game 7 ended up being the difference maker. Halliburton, Turner, Siakam, Nembhard, and Naismith all played fantastic, which ultimately led to Indiana advancing to versus the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. For our first matchup in the West, we had the Mavs versus the Thunder, where the Mavs came up on top in 6 games. Just like I said in my OKC video a few months back, I didn't think they would make it past the second round, and that's exactly what happened. Basically, all of the games were extremely close, and I think if a few plays went the other way, the Thunder could be moving on to the conference finals right now. To be honest, I think the difference in this series was Josh Giddey and him simply being unable to perform on the court. Not saying he was supposed to be a superstar or anything, but he was definitely expected to at least somewhat contribute. That is the exact opposite of what happened, and this guy was like a bench player for the final few games of the series. This was still a very successful year for OKC, and I much expect them to be back next year, but the more experienced team got the better hand in this series. For our last series in the second round, we had the Denver Nuggets versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, where Minnesota came up top in 7 games. This series was everything that was advertised and then some. There weren't really any close games besides one, but all of the games included high scoring and high paced play. Exactly what you're looking for in a series like this. Minnesota won this series by the way they were able to contain Jamal Murray through games 1 through 6. I would say besides game 7, none of Denver's stars were all hot at the same time, which in my opinion is why they lost this series. Edwards played amazing, which resulted in the Timberwolves defying all odds and dethroning the previous champs. Now, let's talk about the conference finals. Like I said, I'm a little late to this, so at the time of this video, both Dallas and Boston are up 2-0 on Minnesota and Indiana. I expect Minnesota to at least make this series somewhat interesting, considering Edwards has been basically invisible this series, but I still think Dallas will win. For Indiana and Boston, yeah, it's wraps for the Pacers. Their potentially only chance to win a game was Game 1, and Boston still found a way to come out on top. Now that the Celtics are getting Porzingis back, there is no way the Pacers can come back from this. I can see them maybe winning a game, but that's all. Boston will continue to demolish them. So that does it for this video. If you're new to the channel and you've liked what you've seen, please be sure to subscribe, like the video, and turn on notifications so you know whenever I upload. I appreciate you all taking time out of your days to watch my videos, and I will see you all again very soon.